Om Vakradunda
वक्रतुण्ड
Mahakaya
महाकाय
Suryakoti
सूर्यकोटि
Samapprabha
समप्रभा
Nirvighna
निर्विघ्नं
Guru Me
गुरु मे
Deva
देव सर्वकार्येषु
Sarvakaryeshu
सर्वदा
Sarvada Saraswati
सरस्वति
Namastubhyam
नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे
Varade Kamarubini
कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं
Vidyarambam
करिष्यामि
Harishyami Siddhe
सिद्धिर्भवतु मे
Bhavatu
सदा
Me Sada Gurur Brahma
गुरुर्ब्रह्मा
Gurur Vishnu
गुरुर्विष्णुः
Gurudevo
गुरुर्देवो
Maheshwaraha
महेश्वरः
Guru
गुरु
Sakshat
साक्षात्
Param
परं
Brahma
ब्रह्म
Tasmai
तस्मै
Shri
श्रीगुरवे
Gurave
नमः
Namaha Apar
ॐ
Karuna Sindhum Jnanadam Shantarupinam Shri Chandrasekhar Gurum Pranamami Mudanvaham Yat Kripalesha Matrena
कृपालेशमात्रेण
Puman
पुनः
Punas
पुनः
Prajayate
प्रजायते
Tam
तं
Vande
वन्दे
Brahma Viduryam
ब्रह्मविदुर्यं
Sadgurum
सद्गुरुं
Chandrasekharam
चन्द्रशेखरम्
Om Sahana Bhavatu
भवतु
Sahano
सहनो भुनक्तु
Bhunaktu
सह
Sahaviryam
वीर्यं करवावहै
Karavavakai Tejas
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा
Avadhitavastoma
विद्विषावहै
Vidvishavahai
ॐ
Om
शान्ति शान्ति
Tashanti
शान्तिः
Shantihi Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha
ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः
Atah Shashtodhyayah
अथ षष्ठोऽध्यायः
Shri Bhagavanuvacha
श्रीभगवानुवाच
Sloka number 11 Shuchau Deshe Pratishthapya Sthiramasanamaatmanah
शुचो देशे प्रतिष्ठाप्य स्थिरमासानमात्मनः
Natyuchritam Nati Nicham Chailajinakushottaram
नाधियुचित्तं नाधिनीचं शैलाजिनकुशोत्तरम्
तत्रैकाग्रं मनः सत्त्वा यतचित्तेन्द्रियक्रियः
तत्रैकाग्रं मनः कृत्वा यथा चित्तेन्द्रियक्रियः
उपविश्यासने युञ्ज्यात् योगमात्मविशुद्धये
उपविश्यासने युञ्ज्यात् योगमात्मा विशुद्धये
युञ्ज्यात् आत्मशुद्धये योगम योगम युञ्ज्यात् ध्यान योगम कुर्यात् may one practice dhyanam in युञ्ज्यात् ध्यान योगम कुर्यात् आत्मविशुद्धये and how the asana should be arranged, what are the materials that asana should be made of, what material, etc. All these things we have seen. So tatra manaha ekagram krutva, focusing the mind on the object of meditation. The one who is yatachittendriya kriyaha, the one who has restrained the mind and these indriyas from their action, may he sit on the seat, asana, and yogam yunjyat atma shuddhi. May he practice meditation for antakarna shuddhi. Now, what is the purpose of meditation? That is, we are discussing yogam yunjyat. May the person meditate. Purpose is atma shuddhaye, antakarna shuddhaye. What is the purpose of meditation? The purpose of karma yoga is chitta shuddhi, antakarna shuddhi. Purpose of meditation also antakarna shuddhi. What is that shuddhi? Because atma is ever shuddha. Atma is never contaminated. It is ever shuddha, ever pure. Being pure. So atma need not be made pure. Therefore, atma shuddhaya is, it is not sachidananda atma, it is antakarnam. Sattva pradhana antakarnam. Antakarnam the mind, where the knowledge happens, where even the notion that I am so and so, all this abhimana, wrong notions. So happens that the mind, that in the same mind only, where the wrong notion is there, ignorance is there, the same only knowledge has to happen. The ignorance that is in the form of ajnana vritti, that should be removed to be replaced by jnana vritti. That is what is jnanam is. So, therefore, antakarna should be made, ready-made, pure. So, karma yoga for antakarna shuddhi, the dhyanam for also antakarna shuddhi. So, what is the antakarna shuddhi all the way? Because there are ashuddhi at different levels. Raga dveshas are the ashuddhi for which karma yoga. Vikshepa is the ashuddhi, that extrovertedness for this upasana. And upasana meaning meditation. And ultimate ashuddhi is ajnanam. For ajnana nivritti, shravanam, that is exposing oneself to the words of the Shastram, because Shabdam words are the Pramanam. So therefore, Shravanam, it is a means of knowledge for gaining the knowledge of Atma, or for removing the knowledge, wrong knowledge, Ajnanam. So Ajnanam is also the impurity. In fact, it is the highest impurity. Ragadveshas are the impurity at one level of impurity. Next level of impurity is extrovertedness, and the highest level are all these impurities are removed for the sake of removing the impurity, which is ajnana. So ajnanam also impurity. Therefore, atma shuddhaya, that is antakarna, should be made free of all this impurity, ajnana impurity, atma shuddhaya. Because here meditation is nididhyasanam. If you take it as nididhyasanam, contemplation, contemplating the words of the Shastra for gaining nishta in Brahma, for nishta in Atma, nishta in this knowledge. So therefore, antakarna shuddhi, jnana praptaye iti. We'll discuss now this. What is the purpose of meditation? Why should the person meditate? For the purification of mind, antakarna vishuddhaye. So meditation here, as we saw before, if it is done by upasaka, it is for focusing the mind, chitta nishchalyam, or by upasaka, it is done for gaining some material ends, accomplishments. Even so, the loka prapti, brahma loka prapti and all by upasana. Sakama upasaka they do. Nishkama upasaka also they do upasana. It is for the sake of Nishkama upasaka, Brahmaloka. Brahmaloka prapti and then gain moksha, that is karma mukti, which is going to be talked about in the 8th chapter. So the meditation is done by all the people. Now, here meditation is in this chapter, after Jnana Karma Sannyasa here, it is Nididhyasanam, contemplation, for which the object of meditation, contemplation, is Atma. So after Shravanam, then Mananam, then Nididhyasanam for Jnana Nishta, not for any new knowledge to take place, but for gaining Nishta in that Jnanam. So for that meditation, that is the purpose of meditation. And Atma Shuddhaye means Atma Vishuddhi, making the mind free from Ajnanam. So removal of Ajnanam. Ajnanam due to, in spite of Shravanam, that Ajnanam is there because of habitual error. Therefore, that Viparyaya, in order to remove the habitual errors, mistakes. So for the meditation, that is also Ashuddhi. That is also an impurity, therefore, for the removal of that. So that's why I said Ajnanam is the ultimate impurity that is removed only by Jnanam. For that, no other sadhanam, only Jnanam. Ajnanam is Jnana Virodhi. So Jnanam removes Ajnanam. Like the light removes darkness. Similarly, Jnanam removes Ajnanam. That is, if you take Dhyanam to be Nididhyasana. So here, what we discussed, let us see. Why should the person meditate? For the purification of mind. Antakarna Shuddhaye. What is Atma Shuddhaye? What is that Atma? In this context, the word Atma refers to Antakarnam, the mind, not Sachidananda Atma. So here the Atma is Antakaranam, as Sachidananda Atma is always already Vishuddha, it is ever pure and needs no purification. Atma is ever pure. If Atma is impure, you cannot make it. Even if you make it pure, it will become impure. Because that which can gather impurity is made pure. Again, it can gather impurity. So for Atma is ever Vishuddha. It is ever Shuddha, Vishuddha. It can never be contaminated. Therefore, the word Vishuddhi here, what is the meaning? Vishuddhi can also be taken in different sense. To be free from the hold of Raga Dvesha. That is also Shuddhi. That is done by Karma Yoga. Vishuddhi also can be in terms of old memories, Kashaya, the language of Mandukya Karika, Kashaya, all the memories that are obstacles for Jnanam to take place, that act as obstacles for Jnanam to happen. Therefore, Kashayas, they come up unexpectedly in contemplation when the mind is quiet, because they are like the sediments. When the mind is quiet, it will come up Kashaya. That is difficult to deal with. That's why one requires some preparation. The Kashaya will come in deep meditation, contemplation. These memories lie under the surface. So, like the iceberg, it is submerged under the sea of memory. So we don't recognize that. Therefore, this comes up when the mind is quiet. So these memories lie under the surface and are like the decaying organic matter that lies under the water, producing certain gases that bubble up to the surface. Nice example. A pond can be quiet and clean 1 minute, but then you keep watching, you suddenly see something coming up, blah, blah, blah. It means the bubbles come up. From where the bubble comes up? Because there's something underneath. From there, bubbles come up. Similarly, these are underneath. When the mind is quiet, it will come up. It finds appropriate time to come up. Similarly, the mind is quietened by meditation. The mind is when the mind enjoys Shanti, that time, the appropriate time, all this Kashaya will bubble up. Mind is quietened by meditation, which can be either contemplative meditation or purely prayerful meditation. Prayerful meditation is Upasana. Contemplative meditation is Nidhyasana. Purely prayerful meditation, upasanas are not mumuksh. Upasana, they do upasana. They have not yet come to Shravanam. They have not yet taken up the sadhanam of Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga meaning Guru Upasadanam, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. They are upasakas. Upasakas are those who do upasana, who meditate on the God, on the Lord, with the forms and without form. They are upasaka. That's a purely prayerful meditation. It's a translation of the word upasana. Or contemplative meditation is dhyasana. So prayerful meditation is on Brahma with qualities, Saguna Brahma. So a person can meditate on Lord Shiva, Vishnu, or any form, or even on the sound syllable Om, Pratika. All these are upasana done by the person on Brahma with qualities, that is guna. It's called Sagunam Brahma. Whereas the contemplative meditation is on Brahma without qualities, Nirgunam Brahma. So Nirguna Brahma, for that one has to know what Brahma is. One must have studied Shastram. For that one must have been exposed to the Shastra Pramanam. Otherwise, one cannot meditate on Nirgunam Brahma. What Nirgunam Brahma itself one doesn't know if one doesn't come to Shastram. Therefore, meditation on Nirgunam Brahma implies Shravanam. Whereas meditation on Saguna Brahma doesn't imply Shravanam. It can be just meditation. If you are a bhakta of Saguna Brahma, like for Rama, for example, you can meditate on Rama, Vishnu, Krishna, etc. So prayerful meditation is translation for the word upasana. Contemplative meditation is nididhyasana. For both, one has to prepare the asana, sit on the asana. The asana must be made of Shailajana Kushottaram, should not be too high, too low. All these are common. That's why Antaranga Sadhana, it is common for both meditation as well as contemplation. But the object of meditations are different. Object of meditation for Upasaka is Ishvara, that is Ishvara, the Saguna Brahma, whereas for Nididhyas, object of meditation of Nididhyasana is Nirgunam Brahma. That is for, you can say Jignasu or provisional Jnani. So Upasaka and Jignasu. Here the words are such that you can take them to mean both Sagunam Brahma meditation and Nirguna Brahma meditation, as you will see later when the object of meditation is discussed. So we can take either of them. In fact, meditation includes both, because you start with the prayerful meditation and end with the contemplative meditation. First you invoke the Lord with the form, and then we slowly reach it on Nirguna Brahma. Your thoughts need not disturb you. When a certain Shanti is gained, Shanti of the mind is composed, tranquil, and in that tranquil mind, various thoughts may occur. These thoughts to be understood as kashayas, memories, that may pop up in a quiet mind at any time without seeming connection or relevancy. It is there, therefore it comes up. It has to come up. When the mind is quiet, it finds chance to come up, pop up. When you understand meditation properly, then your thoughts will not frighten you. You need not think that you are disturbed. You just let the thoughts bubble up and you be a witness, a sakshi. Don't be carried away by the thoughts, by the kashaya. Just one has to remain a witness. It's not an easy thing. Many a times you identify with the thought and you start fighting, and the meditation is disturbed and becomes meditation also. Instead of having a quiet and calm meditation, the meditation will be tiring, will become fatigue in no time. That's why to remain a sakshi, witness, sakshi bhava is important, and the sakshi bhava also is gained by practice. One has to be highly alert to be a witness, not to identify with the thoughts. The thoughts could be of anything which have occurred before in the past, which have caused some scar, some deep dent in the mind. So the deep, for example, deep hurt. So that may come up, and the cause of the deep hurt, whatever it may be, or whatever it may be, that may come, and you identify with that and start fighting with the person or with the thought. So you just lose your balance, and the meditation is disturbed, and meditation becomes a tiring one. So therefore, you need not think that you are disturbed. You just let the thought bubble up, and you be a witness, remain a sakshi. That is why not doing anything, remaining quiet is difficult, because when you are quiet, all the kashayas will pop up. And to remain undisturbed, in spite of the kashayas, is a great feat. It is not that much easy. That is why sadhus who do not do anything, just sit and then contemplate. For them, we think they don't do anything, just they sit and eat. No, for them it is difficult. That is why Swamiji jokingly says, for a sadhu who doesn't do anything, they should be offered more food than the sadhu. I mean, the person who is a beggar, sitting just in the temple, not doing anything, just taking bhiksha and eating. And people criticize for not doing anything, just sitting and eating. And there was a challenge that the sadhu will challenge the people. If anyone can sit like me, at least for 2 days, then he will say, then I will work. Then the priest himself will try to sit for even for half a day. He could not. He could not sit. And he understands the difficulty of just being quiet. And that tells the people to offer him more bhiksha. So as jokingly Swamiji tells this, in Tamil they say, Summa and the sadhuku, you give them more food. It is not easy to be with oneself. So therefore, to be a witness is not easy. That is why abhyasa yoga yuktena, practice. Generally, when these thoughts come, we take them as ourselves. Even in vipassana also we do. The thoughts come, just be a witness of the thought. Just be a witness. Don't judge yourself by the thought, and don't judge the thought also, why it came, how it comes, where it came, why it happened, so. So without identifying, without without connecting yourself strongly to the thought, just remaining a witness. So when you keep witnessing, the thoughts itself will subside slowly. When these thoughts come, we take them as ourselves, and therefore we fight. But here in the seat of meditation, because you have a certain composure, it is possible for you to discover a distance, a space between yourself and this bubble of thoughts. That space is there. That's the meditation is nothing but that widening the space. So the space what you discover between yourself and these bubbles of thoughts. The thoughts also occur for you. Therefore, you are there as a sakshi, and the thoughts are there. But when you don't connect yourself to the thoughts, then there is a distance. There's a gap. Widening the gap. That is what meditation is. Widening the gap means the distance, the gap between you and the bubble of thoughts. The more it is widened, the more you are relaxed. The more you are in meditation. The more you are into meditation. That's what we call meditation. Meditation happens. So you are neither disturbed by them, nor you, because in the gap, what is there? The gap only you alone is there. You, Atma alone is there without any thought. That is the gap, the space where Chaitanyam Atma is obtained as it is, without any upadhi. Without any upadhi. The Sushupti also it happens, but Sushupti Ajnanam is there. But here, the Jagrata Avastha, you are awake. So therefore, Atma, you are obtained in the gap, the gap between the two thoughts, the gap between you and the thoughts. Therefore, here you are neither disturbed. That is what Nididhyasana is all about. So you are neither disturbed by them, nor do you need to try to avoid them. Just be an observer, a sakshi. Understand the thoughts as they are, and do not be afraid of them. Let them arise and watch them. They go away. So we need not make any attempts to make make them go. It will automatically of its own. The moment they become weak, they rise and they fall. They fall automatically. They fall. They become weakened and then they go away. It is strengthened by only when you connect with them. So let them rise. Therefore, let them rise and watch them. They go away like so many bubbles on the surface of a quiet pond. This is what Bhagavan here means when he said that something for purifying the mind. By one practice, Atma Vishuddhaye Yogam Yunjyat. This is what here Vishuddhi, Shuddha. So it is not Raga Dvesha here because it's not Karma Yoga. Karma is done. Here Dhyanam is done. Therefore, Atma Vishuddhaye means make the mind free from, create the distance, create the gap, or be a witness to the thoughts of the mind. So that is Atma Vishuddhi. If you are a witness, if we are just a witness, it means a gap is created between you and the thought. So you remain a Sakshi. So Sakshi Bhava, that is Atma Vishuddhaye. Be an observer. You be an observer, a Sakshi, observing the thoughts, not disturbed by them. That is the Vishuddhi. So what Bhagavan here means when he said that for purifying the mind means not allowing the thoughts to bother you, just remaining as a witness, watching the thoughts, creating the distance, the gap between you and the thought, and widening the gap is what is called contemplation. In that gap, Atma alone is obtained. Therefore, Atma Vishuddhi means the mind is free from thoughts. The mind in that state, it is in thoughtless state. Thoughtless state. So therefore, it is the thoughtless. Thoughtless means it is not that there is no thought of any object, but a sakshi that is there. So mind is nothing but vritti. So mind cannot be free from vrittis. Mind is nothing but the flow of thoughts vritti. So what is that then gap in that atma vritti? Atma vritti is that agam atma chaitanya. Chaitanyam is there. Who knows that atma is agam atma? I am is there. Shuddha chaitanyam, I am. Therefore atma vishuddhi. That is what atma vishuddhi is. So the atma which is obtained as such, not identified with any upadhi, in the gap between you and the stars, and that is what is Nididhyasana is all about. Therefore, tadartam atma vishuddhaye, may you practice meditation. So Nididhyasanam, for what? For gaining nishta in this jnanam. Aham atma, not this upadhi, because of the habitual error, in spite of Shravanam, there is abhimana with the Sharira Manasangata, and therefore, in spite of Jnanam, we act like an Ajnani. Therefore, to gain Nishta in Jnanam, this meditation is this Atma Vishuddhaye, this Yogam Yunjat meditation one should do. That's why it becomes a part of the Jnana Yoga. So, who does this? A Jigyasu does this. A Jigyasu means the one who is a seeker of knowledge. So Shravanam, Mananam, followed by Nididhyasanam. So Jigyasu. For what purpose? Atmanishta. For Brahmanishta, for Atmanishta. That person, if he is absorbed in himself, the thought of himself, then he is called Atmanishta, Brahmanishta. And in the language of the second chapter of the Gita, Satapragya. He remains undisturbed with himself, completely absorbed in himself, Samadhi, complete absorption. When it is the thoughtless, Nirvikalpa Samadhi, in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, there are Sukshma Vritti. In Panchadashi, it is discussed also. Nirvikalpa Samadhi, there are no thoughts, in the sense, there are no Vishayas, therefore Vishaya Vritti not there, only Atma Vritti. That is gained by Nididhyasanam, by meditation. So that is what here it says, that is the Vishuddhi, making the mind pure from all the Anatma Vritti. That is what Atma Vishuddhi, Atma Shuddhi Yogam, Nididhyasanam Kurya. This is the Upadesha for Jnana Yogi. This is the Upadesha for Jnana Yogi. If it taken as Upadesha for Upasaka, then it could be interpreted as making the mind free from the thoughts which are dissimilar. That is the Upadesha for Upasaka. So, therefore, the context here is Jnanam. Therefore, we take it as the Upadesha for Jnana Yogi. There are some common features are there, therefore, can be explained for both. Since this chapter follows Jnana Karma Sannyasa, therefore, we take it as an Upadesha for Jnana Yogi. Upasaka also does meditation. Meditation is nothing but Vijatiya Vritti Anantarita, Sajatiya Vritti Pravaha. That is called meditation, Upasana. Saguna Brahma Manasa Vyaparaha, Upasana. When the object of meditation is Saguna Brahma, it is Upasana. When the object of meditation is Nirgunam Brahma, if it is Nirgunam, then it is Brahma, it is Atma alone. Then it becomes Nididhyasanam. Therefore, here Nididhyasanam is discussed here. Therefore, Yogam Atma Vishuddhaya iti Upadesha for Jnana Yogi. May the Jnana Yogi practice Nididhyasanam for Atma Shuddhaya. For Atma Shuddhaya is, this is what Atma Shuddhi is, making the mind free from the Anatma Vritti, free from the Vritti which are not Atma, Anatma Vritti, Vishaya Vritti, Anatma Vishaya Vritti. How prayer purifies the mind? The next topic. Prayer can bring about Atma Vishuddhi. Here Upasana. Prayer can bring about Atma Vishuddhi, Antakarna Shuddhi, because it brings about a certain change on your part, a glad acceptance of what has gone before or what has happened in your life. Many a times the past keeps hurting, or it's like a haunting. So therefore, glad acceptance of what has gone before. So that gives a certain relaxation. That is what is called Shuddhi, Vishuddhi. Usually we spend our lives fighting against this. This glad acceptance of the past requires certain intimate acceptance of your part. A prayerful acceptance of what has already happened. What has happened is happened. So therefore cannot be corrected. Therefore one has to accept. Instead of fighting with what had happened, accepting that gives certain shanti, tranquility. Therefore, prayerful meditation. So that is acceptance implies, that is, it implies prayer, prayerful meditation. Therefore, upasana. Upasana takes care of your ragadveshas in terms of the past, what I would have liked to have happened, what I should have done, what should not have happened to me, etc. That is ragadvesha. All the times, with these thoughts only we keep fighting. Therefore, ragadvesha, all these are due to ragadvesha. All these things usually bother a person. So making the mind free from this, that is Atma Vishuddhi. So prayer purifies, prayer purifies prayer neutralizes to some extent ragadvesha. The gross part is handled by karma yoga. Still the subtler part of ragadvesha is handled by prayer, upasana. That is called Atma Vishuddhi here. Again, the release of various kashayas, samskaras, impressions, whatever we have gathered in the past, either in this Janma or in the Janma what has gone before. These are like the huge iceberg inside the water. These are deep within the person. Those unassimilated, undigested, hurtful experiences that are stored in the form of memories is called Atma Vishuddhi. They are there. Therefore, the release of them, making the mind free of all those memories, that is Atma Vishuddhi. So this is done, meditation is done, Atma Vishuddhi by the Upasakas. This is at the level of Upasana. Identifying oneself with one's thoughts or the physical body, thinking that anything that happens to the body happens to me, that Sharira Abhimana, that is an obstruction, Pratibandhaka, a great impurity, Ashuddhi, for the one who desires moksha. So Abhimana with the Shariram becomes a great Ashuddhi, impurity, a Pratibandha. All the Ashuddhis, impurities are the Pratibandha. It obstructs knowledge, and therefore it obstructs clear knowledge, clarity, and therefore moksha. Therefore, this identification has to be removed, this Abhimana. Anything that has to be removed, what is to be removed, what is clean, unclean alone is removed. Therefore, anything which is removed, either by karma or by upasana, even at the level of nididhyasana, all these are ashuddhi. Therefore, atma ashuddhi means antakarana. The antakarana, whatever the ashuddhis are there, ashuddhi in the form of ragadvesha, the past memories, or the anatma vritti, all these are ashuddhi eva. Anything that has to be removed, anything that is unclean is called ashuddhi. So to eliminate ashuddhi, contemplation is helpful. Contemplation is not for Atmajnana, important, because Atmajnana happens only by pramana. Atmajnana, knowledge, happens only by pramana, only due to the means of knowledge, which is Shastram. Nididhyasanam, not for Atmajnana, it is only for Atma Vishuddhi. We say that is to remove this Viparita Bhavana, in other words, technical language. For the removal of Viparita Bhavana means the habitual errors. So that is the Ashuddhi. Habitual errors are there in the Buddhi only, the mind only. Therefore, they are Ashuddhi. For the removal of that alone, this Nididhyasanam, not for gaining the knowledge of Atma, because it happens at the time of Shravanam itself. Shravana means Vichara, Shastra Vichara. Meditation facilitates inquiry. Since Atma Jnana is Vritti Jnana, self-knowledge is Vritti Jnana. Any knowledge is Vritti Jnana only. What about Atma Jnana? That is also by Vritti Jnana. Vritti means thoughts. Knowledge happens in the mind in the form of thoughts alone. So Atma Jnana is Vritti Jnanam eva. Anatma Vritti Jnanam, Anatma Vritti is that is knocked off by Vritti Jnanam, that is by the Shastram. Shastram creates Vritti Jnanam, and the Vritti Jnanam knocks off Anatma Vritti. That's what we call Atma Jnanam. So Atma Jnanam is not producing some new knowledge. Removal of this, the removal of the Anatma Vritti. Anatma Vritti, the Vritti, the thoughts which are pertaining to Anatma. The Sharya Mana Sanghat, attachment to Sharya body mind sense complex, limiting oneself to this body mind sense complex, taking oneself to be confined to that, that is Anatma Vritti. That's Aham Idam, I am so and so, this is mine, that is Anatma Vritti. Taking the Atma to be the Shariram or the mind or the sense organs or anything connected to that, all these are Anatma Vritti. That is knocked off by Swarupa Jnanam, that is by Vritti Jnanam. That is what we call Moksha Atma Jnanam iti, Atma Jnanam. So therefore, Atma Jnanam also, being a Jnanam, it is a Vritti Jnanam only. It can take place only by operation of a Pramana. Pramana, the Shastra Pramana, which is in the form of words. Words produces thoughts, and the thoughts are the knowledge, and the knowledge removes Ajnanam, Ajnana Vritti. So Shastra as Shastra as a purpose of removing Anatma, as a purpose of removing only this Ajnana Vritti, not in producing some new Vritti about Atma. Shastra doesn't produce new knowledge. It just removes Anatma Vritti. Anatma Vritti Shastram, Pramanam. So Pramana Vichara alone produces Vritti Jnanam. Why it is said? Because the previous prayer of contemplation, Nididhyasanam is not for Atma Jnanam. Because no Jnanam is produced in Nididhyasanam. Jnanam is produced only when Pramana is operated. So Pramana Vichara alone produces Atma Jnanam and destroys Atma Ajnanam, self-ignorance. And for this Vritti Jnanam to take place, Vritti Jnanam, Atma Vritti Jnanam, the various Pratibandhakas are there, and they are the Ashuddhi, they are the impurities, which are due to Ragadvesha, Kashaya, or Viparita Bhavana. Ragadvesha handled by Karma Yoga, Kashaya by Upasana, and Viparita Bhavana by Nididhyasanam. So they have to be they have to be removed. And this removal is taken care by Dhyanam, meditation, Nididhyasanam. Saying that Pramana Vichara alone produces knowledge doesn't mean you give meditation or pay lesser space. There is no lesser place, in fact, because meditation is for Atma Vishuddhi. It occupies an important position in the life of a seeker. Therefore, Bhagavan says, may one do meditation, yogam unjiyat, nididhyasanam kuryat. This is an important point to note because it is commonly thought that Vedanta is only a theory and it is jhana, the practice of meditation, that produces knowledge. No. Shravana matrena jnanam bhavati. At the time of Shravanam itself, when the pramana is operated, knowledge happens. So knowledge is not produced in meditation. This is a common wrong notion among the people. Therefore, they say knowledge is in the form of theory. It has to be practicalized. There is no practice of this dhyanam. In that dhyanam doesn't produce any new knowledge. Shastram produces knowledge because it's a pramana. Pramana only produces jnanam. Dhyanam, nididhyasanam is not a pramana. If it is not a pramana, how can it produce knowledge? Simple. What is pramanam? Pramanam is that which produces knowledge. That's why it's called means of knowledge, translated as means of knowledge. That by which knowledge is produced. Nyayate, anena iti. Jnanam shastram. Meditation is not a means of knowledge. Meditation do not produce any new knowledge. Meditation on what has already been, what knowledge has already been produced on that. In fact, when it comes to Atma Jnanam, no new knowledge is also produced. Only the wrong knowledge is removed. So in order to make the knowledge steady, the nididhyasanam, the meditation is suggested. So therefore, the point to be noted, it is commonly thought that Vedanta is only a theory and it is dhyana, the practice of meditation produces knowledge. This is not true. Dhyanam, therefore dhyanam, otherwise called nididhyasanam, for Jnanam, you can say for Jnana Yogi, it is only for Atma Vishuddhi, not for Atma Vijnanam. Atma Jnanartham Shravanam, Atma Vishuddhyartham Nididhyasam. Even though ultimately it enables Atma Jnana to take place. After Shravanam, if there are still Pratibandhas, the Pratibandhas are handled in Dhyanam. But knowledge happens only in Shravanam. That is when the Pramana is operated. Because knowledge is Pramana Tantram, natu Kartru Tantram. Dhyanam is Kartru Tantram, where the meditator has to sit and meditate. There is deliberation involved. Whereas in the case of Pramanam, when Pramana is operated, knowledge happens without any your will. It is Vastu Tantram, natu Kartu Tantram. Whereas Dhyanam is Kartru Tantram. Therefore, how can knowledge happen in Dhyanam? Therefore, Dhyanam do not produce knowledge. Dhyanam do not produce Atma Jnanam. It happens only by the means of knowledge, Shastram. So therefore, the knowledge itself depends entirely upon Antakarna Vishuddhi. If Antakarnam is ready, it is relatively pure, then when Pramana is operated, Jnanam will definitely take place. So therefore, Antakarna Vishuddhi, because it depends on the mind that is fit for knowledge. That is why there is always emphasis on Adhikaritvam. The more and more you become a fit receptacle, the more will be the clarity with regard to oneself. In making the mind fit for Jnanam is important. Although there is a certain order involved in terms of Jnanam being necessary for the first step of preparing the mind, Jnana doesn't produce knowledge. The Vritti Jnana produced by Pramana Vichara alone produces knowledge. This is an important. Therefore, there is no practice involved. There is only knowing involved. So, meditation do not produce Atma Jnanam. Atma Jnanam only by Pramanam. We will stop here. Then the next shloka we'll see how to sit. All this talked about. We'll see in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Dhanyavadaha.